Hey guys, this morning the weather does not look great, but one of the guys at United Refrigeration needs some help with his air conditioner, and I'm gonna help him out. Just charge him labor. He's getting all the parts himself, and because it's somebody I know, I'm okay with that. But we're doing a heat exchanger, wiring up a blower for him, and I'm gonna try to explain how to do this with, he's replacing an ECM with a PSC. He already has it installed. He just didn't know how to wire it up. So I'm gonna go over that. Here we go. I hear it trying to heat. I know it won't. I have disabled a bunch of stuff. All right, we got a, this kind of looks similar to a ream, but it's nothing like one. Let's get to it. All right. There's my heat exchanger. I asked him to pick up one of these and a contactor for me. Okay, I do not know if the camera up there is working or not. I'm not sure it is, but I'm trying. Let me see if that's... Oops, I have not turned off the gas. Guys, always make sure you turn off the gas first. There we go. Gas line unhooked. Let's start pulling some of this apart. I may not have to do a whole lot with that. I think I dropped a screw back there. This might be really easy to do. I mean, really easy. All right, this is, that right there is the hole that I found in it. Looks like there was, if I hadn't have found that one, I would have found something else. This looks like it's gonna be really easy. Oh no, I am hearing some rain. All right. Let me get my angle, my little angle thing, and I gotta take out a bunch of those screws. All right, while I'm looking at this, oh, that's the way it goes. You see the fat part goes on the top. I had a little bit of rain there for a second. Nope, that's not what I want. All right. I got to undo this screw and all of those. These right here that you see me doing right now, they help hold the heat exchanger in. Help it make a good seal. That wheel still looks pretty good. Now let's see if we can get this off. I didn't have to undo those screws over there. I guess I just didn't know. There we go, got that out. All right, there are a few screws that hold this heat exchanger in. I think it's these three. I just took out those three and those 6. I've never done one of these before. This is, I think, an airease. So, so it's a little bit new to me. I see something that I'm forgetting. All right. So that was basically it. Yeah. See if we find anything else. There's another little hole right there. Another one there. So it's a good thing we found that hole. Last thing I want is for somebody to suffer from carbon monoxide poisoning. If it don't kill you, it can still make you really sick. This is my last tube of fire caulk. I hope it's still good. Huh. I'm trying not to get it all over my gloves. I am gonna have to wipe off that glove because it can squeeze into the burner into the heat exchanger. I'm old enough to have worked on some of these where you could replace the individual cells on the heat exchanger, but I always opted to replace the whole, like all 3 cells. Oops, I just knocked all the screws down. That's not the right spot. Maybe it's a good thing I went ahead and unscrewed that panel from the side. And yes, I'm gonna go over how to do that blower. And these I can go ahead and put in. I'm gonna get all that screwed down good. All right, and the gasket on this, you see I didn't put in any of these screws. The gasket looks like it's missing right there, but here it is right here. So I'm going to leave that. All right. I don't want to strip those. I'm trying to put the newer looking screws here on the bottom. Oh my. It's drizzling now. All right, we have everything put back together. Got this back the way it was. Got this screwed in. There were no screw holes in the top and the bottom. They were just on the sides. Yeah, let's put the top back on. If you have accidentally taken this piece off when you were taking the panel off, you need to put that back on. That forces the air to go over the heat exchanger more directly. There's one on the other side too. Oh, I'm gonna have to pin that up. There's one on the other side too. And if it's not forced to go directly over the heat exchanger, this can get too hot and cause that high limit to go out. All right, I'm glad he got a 40 amp contactor, because it's got lugs on it, and it's much easier to hook up those power wires right there with lugs. On this I prefer Rector Seal number 5. That is my favorite pipe sealant. I just like the way it works. All right, on this, he had this wire just straight to the contactor, so that when the contactor came on, the blower would come on. And of course, that's not what we want. There is a way to do it with a relay, but because this is straight cool gas furnace, this can be a little complicated, and I'll explain why. I should have pulled that out when I had it all taken apart. All right, on this, I can tell you how to do it with a relay. All right, these are 2 power wires. That is ground. Let's see if I can point with this. Power, ground, 24 volt common. And he's got everything tied up. And these are my low voltage. That's for the heat. That's probably gonna be on high and this is for my fan. If only G is calling. And as long as you got 24 volts between any of these and that blue right here, an ECM motor would work. And this was an ECM motor. And the way you work that is you take one of your power wires and you break it across here. You put this power wire, let's say we're going to break that one. You put the power wire right here, and then you take your speed, whichever one you're hooking up, and you put it right there. And then you take your green and your 24-volt common right here, and that'll power your blower. But the problem is that ignition control board controls the blower when it comes on in heat. The thermostat does not. So he has a Pro 3000 in there. I'm not sure I can program it, but some thermostats you can program to control the fan when it brings on the heat. Some of the smart thermostats, I know you can, and if you can do that, you can just use a relay. But that's not an option for us, so we have something else. That option is this. This is the Quick Swap X1. Looks like it, Quick Swap X1 QT6101. So I'm gonna show you how this works. Basically, if you could have a relay where you could hook up all these possible hot 24 volts and this common without bleeding 24 volts over to the other ones, that's what this is. So it's a board that controls all that for you. And here's what you do. This actually plugs up right here. All right, so you've got your line voltage. It says neutral. It can do 100 or 120 volts or 240. Of course, when it's 240, it's not necessarily neutral, is it? All right, that's supposed to just plug on right there. All right, so that, and then your low voltage, I'm gonna put, it doesn't matter because we're only using one speed, just as long as you have them all hooked up to any one of these. Right here. So as long as you have 24 volts between any one of these and this common, it's going to pass voltage onto here. So we need a spade connector here and a spade connector there, and that's it. Yes, let's go ahead and mount that. Okay, so these speeds just apply 24 volts to the relay. And as you see, we only have two taps. One of them is for your COM or run. And this one, excuse me, that's going to be my run, and my speed is normally common. So you don't have but two places to hook up your power wires. You got to keep your capacitor individually with its own wires. But once you hook this up, it's not going to do but one speed. It would be nice if they would give us more than one speed though. Maybe in future products they'll do that. All right, I'm going to put this up here where it says speed. And this one's going to go on the label that says common. So this is one way to convert a ECM to a PSC and do it so that the fan comes on when it's supposed to instead of all the time. I mean, I really like this option because it allows the heat exchanger to heat up before it starts blowing, and that way you're not blowing cold air in the house. I'm about ready to turn this thing on. I'm excited. All right, it was calling for heat when I got here, so let me make sure everything's right before I start putting power to it. That right there is going to be a little bit of a problem. That's hooked up. Gas valve's turned on. I still want to keep this on here. I just don't want it to cause anything to short. I might just leave it like that so I'm not putting pressure on those wires. I'm gonna have to redo that. So it's not going to make a big spark to begin with, but be careful not to break this. All right, let's see if we can get it to fire. Please, come on. I don't want to get rained on. Woo, look at there. There's a chance it could smoke a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and let it get hot. That way it won't smoke up so much when he gets home. Alright, the metal backing on this right here. Did not like touching that, so we're gonna move it someplace where it's not. There we go. That'll work. Much better. Well guys, on that video I was trying to film in time lapse with that other camera you may have seen set up in there. Well guys, in that video I was trying to film in time lapse with that other camera that you may have seen set up there, but none of that recorded. So I hope this turns into a good video. Join me tomorrow. I'm changing a blower motor that was a variable speed, converted to PSC, and I'm putting in an X-13. That ought to be fun. And I'm changing out a broad ocean variable speed motor for a PSC. Stay tuned for that. I'll catch y'all tomorrow.